In the earlier session, we discussed how to solve differential equations in the power series method. Using that same technique, we are going to solve in this session the Legendre's differential equation. First, you have a look at this differential equation. Okay, 1 minus x square into y double dash minus 2x into y dash plus 6 times of y equal to 0. If I ask you, give me a solution for this differential equation which is a polynomial, then you may take some time, but it's very interesting that it is nothing but a special case of this differential equation. 1 minus x square into y double dash minus 2x into y dash plus n into n plus 1 of y equal to 0, where n I have taken as 2, then 2 into 3 is 6, that is this one. So this equation number 1 is nothing but a special case of equation number 2 where n is equal to 2. This particular equation 2 is called Legendre's differential equation. Legendre's differential equation. Now comes the very special point, that is, for this Legendre's differential equation, if whatever n you substitute here, you will have two solutions because it's a second order differential equation. So two independent solutions will be there, but when n is a positive integer, at that time that one of the two independent solutions will be surely a polynomial, and once we have one polynomial as a solution for this one, any multiple of that polynomial will be also a solution. Let us see now. Okay, for example, I come up with that same thing, that is 1 minus x square into y double dash minus 2x into y dash plus 6 times of y equal to 0. You can very easily see that if I take the y value equal to 3x square minus 1, then y is solution of equation 1. Let us just cross check and verify. Y dash will be 6x and eventually y double dash will be 6. Substituting in that equation 1, what I get now, 1 minus x square times of y double dash, that is 6, minus 2x times of y dash, that is 6x, plus 6 times of y, that y is 3x square minus 1. Let us check it how much it is. It is 6 minus 6x square minus 12x square plus 18x square minus 6. This plus 6 and minus 6 gets cancelled. This minus 6x square and minus 12x square adds up to minus 18x square and gets cancelled with this plus 18x square. So we are going to get 0, and hence it is very clear that 3x square minus 1 is solution of equation 1. Now if I take any constant k here, k times of 3x square minus 1, then of course it is going to become the solution. How so? Y dash will be k times of 6x and y double dash will be k times of 6. So if I substitute all of that, that k comes here, that k comes here, and that k comes here, and that k is common, taken out. So that is k times of 0, and hence I will get a 0. Therefore any multiple of this particular 3x square minus 1 is also a solution. Among those polynomials which I get by multiplying different values of k, a polynomial which satisfies this condition, okay, I'll do that. For example, I have this again the same thing, okay, 1 minus x square times of y double dash minus 2x times of y dash plus 6 times of y equal to 0. This was our original equation. Now I have just shown that sum f of x equal to 3x square minus 1 is solution of equation 1, and this is a polynomial, and any multiple of this function, any multiple of this polynomial is of course a solution. but you see this polynomial p of x equal to 1 by 2 times of 3x square minus 1. Of course it is going to become the solution, but the reason behind taking this is such that if we substitute 1, then we will be getting the value as 1. It's so simple. 3 into 1 square minus 1 is actually 2, and we are cancelling with 2, and we are going to get 1. So a polynomial p of x such that p of 1 is equal to 1, and it is a solution for Legendre's equation. Legendre's equation is called Legendre's polynomial, is called Legendre's polynomial. Here it is denoted by Pn of x. So if I need P2 of x, that is 3x square minus 1 by 2. Now comes the question, if I have this 1 minus x square into y double dash minus 2x into y dash plus, I am suppose taking in this particular Legendre's equation which I have shown earlier, n into n plus 1. Here this 6 is nothing but n into n plus 1, where n is equal to 2. If n is 3, then 3 into 3 plus 1, that is 4. 3 into 4 is 12. If I have 12y, then it is a special case again, that is 12y equal to 0. If this is equation number 2, then obviously you can say that the solution for equation 2 will be p3 of x. But the question comes, what is p3 of x? How much is p3 of x? p3 of x should be a polynomial, and it should be such that p3 of 1 must be equal to 1, and it should be solution for Legendre's equation for n is equal to 3. Now let us come to the conclusion that we now want to deal in general about 1 minus x square into y double dash minus 2x into y dash plus n into n plus 1 of y equal to 0. This is our target. Now we are going to study in detail about the solutions of this equation, which is Legendre's equation. Now at this point of time, I would like to conclude one point, that we are going to deal about Legendre's polynomials in detail in the next session. Right now we are just solving this particular Legendre's equation. So for saving time, I have already written the complete solution for this Legendre's equation. I will directly jump to that one. Okay, now you see here, this is Legendre's equation. Okay, better I'll pick up a pen. Now this particular 1 minus x square into y double dash minus 2x into y dash plus n into n plus 1 of y, this particular differential equation, we are going to call it as a Legendre's equation. So to solve in general, let us take a power series. Legendre's equation is this one. Okay, I hope you are following. Fine. First I'll delete this one. Okay, now better I'll just show in this way. This is our target equation. We are going to solve this particular equation. So here what I am doing is, this particular x equal to 0, if I substitute, okay, this x equal to 0, if I substitute here, then this 1 minus x square is 1 minus x square is not equal to 0. Therefore this x equal to 0 is ordinary, x equal to 0 is ordinary point. when it is ordinary point, we can get the solution in the form of a power series. So we are assuming that the solution is in the form of y of x is equal to a naught plus a1x plus a2x square, so on. That is in short this one. Now if you take the derivative for this y, the actual solution of Legendre's equation starts now. That is, we are assuming that y of x, which is to satisfy this equation, is in the form of y is equal to this summation. Now if you take the derivative of this one, that y dash will be equal to this a naught gone, and a1x will become a1, and this will become 2x times of a2, so 2a2x. In short, this y dash can be easily obtained from here in this way. That is, y dash is equal to okay, so if we take y value this much, better I'll write it here. If y is taken as sigma k equal to 0 to infinity ak into x power k, then y dash will be equal to sigma k equal to 1 to infinity, because first term will be gone, and this x power k becomes k into x power k minus 1, and this ak is a constant as it is. And if you do the differentiation once again, one more term will be gone, so summation starts from 2 onwards. So this k is already there. This x power k minus 1 is going to become k minus 1 into x to the power of k minus 2, and ak is as it is. So this is how we get that particular y and y dash and y double dash. Y, once we assume what is y, then we need to get this much as y dash and this much as y double dash. Okay, so if we take this much as y value, this as y value, then we have what is y dash and what is y double dash. Substituting this y dash and y double dash in equation 1, this one, substituting in equation 1, we get 1 minus x square into, this is the value of y double dash, minus 2x into y dash, and plus n into n plus 1 of y equal to 0. So if we separate the terms, first term I am having 1 with this x summation and x square. So one time of this summation will come, next time x square will become x to the power of k when getting cancelled with x power k minus 2. So x power 2 and x power k minus 2 reduces to x power k. So here this gives 2 summations, and this x goes inside, will become x to the power of k, and this particular summation remains as it is. So we are going to get 2 summations here, one summation here 3 and 1 4. So in the next step I written that one. You can see the detailed simple steps at your calculation. Okay, these 2 from the first one, third summation and fourth summation. Now what we are doing is substituting this k minus 2 as s in the first summation. In the remaining summations we are just substituting k is equal to s. So for example, I have this one. So in this summation, if s is substituted as k, then s is equal to 0 to infinity as x to the power of s. This is what I have shown here, you can see. So this particular summation, this one has become, okay, so you can see that this particular summation has now become like this. So this n into n plus 1, this one exactly is going to become just this one. The only change is, instead of writing k, I have written s. The reason behind is we want to combine all of them after some steps. So this summation and this summation are one and the same, they are equal summations. Okay, now after setting this one, k minus 2 equal to s in the first summation, and remaining summations just k is equal to s. What happens now, you see here. If you look at this, okay, first one I'll come back to this. If you substitute k, this particular 2 coming this side, k minus 2, that is going to become s. So k minus 2 equal to s. When you substitute k equal to 2, 2 minus 2 is 0, so s becomes 0. Therefore this particular summation, okay, this particular summation is going to become this one. You can just have a link with this one, okay. So I get this particular summation, or else I'll better draw it here. Y equal to, that summation was k, okay, let us see what it was. Here it is, this summation I mean to say, k into k minus 1, k equal to 2 to infinity a k x to the power of k minus 2. When I am making k minus 2 is equal to s, then k will be equal to s plus 2, and when k is 2, s is 0. So this starts with k minus 2 is equal to 0 to infinity. Instead of writing k minus 2, you can simply say s is equal to 0 to infinity. So this becomes sigma s is equal to 0 to infinity. This k is now going to become s plus 2. So it is s plus 2 into s plus 1, because it is 1 less. It is k into k minus 1, and it is a s plus 2 because k is s plus 2, and a x to the power of s. I hope you understood this one. So this particular summation is now going to become this particular summation. So that is what is done in that next step. You can come back to this particular one. So this is now reduced to this summation. Similarly, that second one, we have not made any changes, just k equal to s. So this step is over. Now if you look at this summation, then when s is 0, x to the power of 0, constant term will come. When s is 1, x to the power of 1. When s is 2, x square term comes. So this summation contains constant term, x term and x square and so on. Whereas if you look at this one, then this summation contains only x square onwards, the terms from x square onwards. So what we will do is, we will separate the first two terms from this, then this summation can be clubbed with this summation. Also, if you remove one term from this by substituting s value 1, x term can be separated and the remaining summation can be clubbed with the first one and the second one. And if you substitute two terms from this, then this summation starts from 2 onwards, a to x square, then this summation also can be clubbed together with all that remaining. So what we are doing is, we are separating the uncommon terms. Uncommon terms, I mean to say, in this one constant term is there and x term is there. That is not common in all of them. So that uncommon terms I am separating. So I have just separated first two terms from that first summation, and s is from 2 onwards. So if you do in that way, you will get this one. You can write some smaller steps and verify that one. It's so simple. So if you want, you can just look back at this last step. If you look at this one, then when s is 0, it is a naught x to the power of 0, that is a naught. So n into n plus 1, a naught is one term, n into n plus 1 into a1 x to the power of 1, that is a1x. So the two terms if you separate, the remaining summation will be s is equal to 2 to infinity as x to the power of s. That is what is written. You can see here the last one, this one, n into n plus 1 a naught, n into n plus 1 a1x, then n into n plus 1 as x power s is as it is, but s is starting from 2 onwards. So this is by separating the uncommon terms. Now combining the like terms, this is constant term, this is x term, and remaining all common terms are from x square onwards. So writing that summation for x to the power of s with all combining all the like terms of all the summations, it is just this much. So this is the coefficient of x to the power of s. This is the coefficient of x to the power of s, x to the power of s. Okay. Now when this is equal to 0, then it should be true for every coefficient. I mean to say, this complete series must match with 0. That is possible only when the coefficient of each power of x must be 0. So equating the coefficient of x to the power of 0 to 0, I mean constant term to 0, we get, just you look back here, the constant term is written after combining the like terms. This is the constant term, this is the coefficient of x. So if you make this equal to 0, you will get this equation 2a2 plus 2 into 1 into, I just written, you can see here. Okay, you can just see this complete is nothing but written here. Equating this to 0, a2 value will become equal to minus of, this goes that side, n into n plus 1 by 2 into 1 a naught. Similarly, if we make this equal to 0, the coefficient of x, we will get this one. A3 3 into 2 into, you can just check it here, that is this one, I mean to say, this one. This is nothing but this one, this one. Okay, so finally you are getting a3 value equal to minus of n square plus n minus 2. If you make factorization here, then a3 will be this one. So a3 is coming in terms of a1 and a2 is coming in terms of a2, a0. Okay, so a2 is coming in terms of a0 and a3 is appearing in terms of a1. Similarly, if you take the coefficient of x to the power of s in general and make it equal to 0, you will be getting this one. This is from the previous summation, after like terms combined we got this one. So here it is as plus 2, this is as plus 2, and remaining are all as, here as and as. So taking as common from all of these terms and taking all of this on the right hand side, I have taken minus here. Now you can see that it is n square plus n from here, and this comes this side, minus s square minus s. Okay, this plus s and minus 2s becomes minus s, and all of them, because we are taken on the right hand side together, that minus is however there. Now this s plus 2 into s plus 1 comes down. Finally as plus 2 is equal to minus of n minus s. Actually this is n square minus s square. That n square minus s square can be written as n minus s into n plus s, and this n minus s is common. So again finally on factorization, this becomes as n minus s into n plus s plus 1. So finally as plus 2 is in this way. So substituting s is equal to 0, 1, 2, 3 so on, we will get the relation between the various coefficients. So substitute s is equal to 0 here, then we will be getting minus of n into n plus 1 by 2 into 1, that is 2, which is already matching with a2 which we got it, that is a2 equal to, here we got a2 equal to this a2. This a2 which is written in terms of a0 means it is depending upon one coefficient before that one, alternate. So similarly a3 is in terms of a1, and in general as plus 2 here, as plus 2 is in terms of as, you can see. Now substitute s is equal to 0, a2 comes in terms of a0, that you can verify from the previous one, and s value 1 if you substitute, you will get a3 in terms of a1, and now using this, if we calculate a4 and a5, we get in this way, and if you want to look at the logic of remembering this one, then I'll tell you one simple point, that is a2 is in terms of a0 and n into n plus 1 by 2 is just a sum of n natural numbers, like that you remember n into n plus 1 by 2. And once you remember a2 in terms of a0, a3 can be written very easily in this way, that is one term, one factor less. Better I'll write it here. Now a3 is equal to minus, from this n just take one step back, that is minus n minus 1. Okay, this n I am taking one factor before this and I am taking one factor after that one, so n plus 2 by, for this 3 you have 3 factorial into a1. Now once you remember this a2 and a3, you can write any of the next coming one very easily. I'll tell you now how to do it. Now a4, so in this a4, this part n into n plus 1 is for a2, and again a2 is written in terms of a0. So finally you just remember this middle part n into n plus 1, which is for a2, and that this new factor is 2 less here and 2 more here. This same common logic is used in all the coefficients. So for this a4, 4 factorial. Now a5, what was a2? Actually I mean to say a2 was n into n plus 1 by 2 factorial actually, and a3 was, it is this into a0 with minus, and here minus n minus 1, just now I have shown, into n plus 3, into n plus 3, sorry n plus 2, one less here, one more here, n plus 2 by 3 factorial. So if you remember this a2 and a3, now a4 will be using this pattern n into n plus 1 as it is, taking two terms, 2 units less and 2 units more. So it is n plus 3. You got it from that. a4 depends on a2, as plus 2 depends on as. Now a5, so what you do, this part you copy as it is, n minus 1 into n plus 2, so it will be n plus 4 here, 2 units more, and 2 units less, that will be n minus 3. Now I hope you will be able to tell how much will be a6 and a7. You can verify from the textbook if you want. So if you continue in that way, what happens is you will be getting that as plus 2, in general as plus 2 will come in terms of as. So 2 units difference will be there. Okay, so a5 depends on a3, a3 depends on a1, a4 depends on a2, a2 depends on a0. So a0 and a1 are arbitrary, and a2, a4, a6 they all depend on a0, a3, a5, a7, a9 they all depend on a1. So these are dependent constants, whereas these two are independent constants. Okay. So since we assumed that the solution of Legendre's equation is in this form, y is equal to this one, that expansion, what we need to do now, we need to substitute the value of a0, a1, a2. So y is equal to a0 plus a1x plus a2. a2 depends on a0, so I have written the value of a2. Next a3 depends on a1, so this much of a1 is a3. This is a3 x cube. Now this is a4. Okay, this is a4 x to the power 4. a4 depends on a0. Now once we write that a0 is one arbitrary constant and a1 is one arbitrary constant, so the general solution, now we can take a0 from here, all these a0 terms from here and from here and from here. So if we take a0 common, the even powers of x will appear, and if we take a1 common, a1 comes here and a1 comes here and a1 comes in a5 also. So in short, we can write the general solution of this Legendre's equation as y of x is equal to a0 times of some function plus a1 times of another function. that if we take a naught here common, then here it will be 1 minus n into, because a naught is available here, so minus n into n plus 1 by 2 factorial into x square, this one. So this all terms, this term a naught taken common, so finally y1 is this one, and after taking common a1 there will be one function y2, that y2 will be this much. So this is the complete solution of Legendre's equation where a naught and a1 are arbitrary constants. I hope you got my point. We will discuss in detail about how will be these solutions, the y1 and y2, if n is a integer. If n is a positive integer, you can very easily see that one among them will become a polynomial. Either y1 will be a polynomial or y2 will be a polynomial whenever n is a positive integer. We will see in detail about this particular polynomials called as Legendre polynomials in the next session. Thank you.